So I've had the iPhone 15 Pro Max for about 3 days now. And here are my very early thoughts, my first impressions of Apple's newest Pro phone. It's actually a bigger upgrade than I anticipated. Now, I still don't think you should go out if you have an iPhone 14 Pro Max and upgrade to the iPhone 15 Pro Max. But I think Apple has done a lot of nice things here to really make this an all-around solid choice if you're looking to upgrade to this phone from a previous generation iPhone. Let's start off with design. Titanium. I like it a lot more than I thought I was. Now, I have the black titanium color, and I kind of wish I would have gone with the natural titanium color, at least based on videos and images that I've seen. The natural titanium looks really nice, but I still like the black titanium color. It's more of a dark gray if you really look at it in the light. I always tend to go with a black phone when I do purchase one, and this one is really nice. I'm not gonna take anything away from the color, but I would recommend definitely go check out the natural titanium and look at it in person and see if you might prefer that color over the black titanium. I love the frosted glass back of the iPhone Pro models, no fingerprints on here. Now, when it comes to the titanium ring around the iPhone, you can definitely see these kind of stains around the button. Now, they're not permanent, you can easily wipe them away, but it is quite noticeable after using the phone for a while. I'm guessing it's the oils of your hand that kind of get into the crevices around the buttons and kind of leave these marks on the iPhone. Once again, it's not a huge deal because you can easily wipe it away. It's just something to keep in mind. It definitely doesn't have as many fingerprints on the brushed titanium like the stainless steel had. Now, when it comes to the feel of holding the phone, this phone definitely feels lighter. I know it's only 10% lighter or even less, but I don't know, the weight distribution of the iPhone 15 Pro Max just makes a really big difference. And maybe that, along with the slightly curved edges, just make this phone really much easier to hold and use. Now, it's still a huge phone. It's still a Pro Max. There's no getting around that. But I just feel like the weight difference, the curved edges are going a long way here. And it's just making a huge phone at least a little bit more manageable than the previous generations did. Now, performance-wise, I'm not noticing a huge difference between the A17 Pro inside the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the previous A16 Bionic. At least when it comes to day-to-day usage, I know the benchmarks say that this is a faster chipset inside. You're not gonna really notice a huge difference. It's quick, it's smooth, applications open up quickly, and really that's a Pro iPhone. We're used to that with any iPhone Pro model. Now, battery life, so far I'm really happy with the battery life here. I really put it through its paces today, and I'm gonna make a full video where I go into depth. I give you kind of this complete battery test, my full day of using the iPhone 15 Pro Max. But just to give you an idea of how well it's performed, at least for me so far, it's only been 3 days, so that really doesn't tell you much, but so far, I've gotten through a full day, 12 hours of screen on time, and I still had a little bit of battery left over. Now, hopefully the battery capacity holds up much better than the previous iPhone 14 Pro models did, because we know that they were having issues with battery capacity kind of degrading quickly over time. But Apple has an interesting feature built into the iPhone 15 models this year. So if you go into settings, then general, then about, and if you scroll down to battery, you're gonna see there when the battery was manufactured, when the battery was first used, and even the cycle count for the current battery inside that iPhone. We can see Apple is being much more transparent when it comes to their batteries now, and I think this is probably just a direct response to all the negative publicity or the backlash about the iPhone 14 Pro model's batteries just really diminishing very quickly over time. So hopefully the batteries inside the iPhone 15 models are much better, and Apple is just gonna give us just a better experience when it comes to that. Now, one new feature with the iPhone 15 Pro models is the action button. Now, I found myself kind of excited about this feature when it was announced, but now that I have the phone, I don't really care too much about it. It's great to be able to open up your camera quickly and actually use that button as a shutter button, but that's about it when it comes to the action button. I hope Apple adds more functionality when it comes to this button, maybe a double press, a quick press, a triple press, but for now, we just have a long press to do one thing, and that's pretty much it. Now, when it comes to cameras, first impressions, This might be my favorite camera system I've ever used in any smartphone. I usually prefer the Pixel over the iPhone when it comes to pictures, but honestly, this might be my new favorite. The photos you're able to capture are so detailed and true to life. I just love how portrait mode works on the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the shots you're able to capture. And even the 5x optical zoom, while I wish it was more, it's still pretty impressive, the detail you're able to get at 5x zoom. Now, of course, video is great. It's always been great on the iPhone, but it's even better with this generation. They took an already great camera system and somehow made it even better, in my opinion. Now, it's still early, but this may be just the best all-around camera system I've used. I've noticed that there's much more versatility with the features they added this year. You of course have macro mode and the different focal lengths. You have the different picture profiles. The camera system just feels fun to use again because there's a lot of different features to play around with. And it just feels like all the camera modes and all the features here work great and they just give you amazing results. You're gonna be happy with like 95% of the shots here, which I think is just an all-around solid smartphone when it comes to cameras. Now, of course, I'm gonna continue to test out the camera and continue to use it in different situations and see how it holds up. But definitely, this has been one of my favorite parts of the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So in the end, it's still early, but what I've seen so far with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, many might think that it's boring and there's nothing that's really changed this year, but I think that the Pro models this year have a lot going for it. Now, the regular iPhone 15 and 15 Plus, I think were even bigger upgrades compared to the previous generation, but the Pro models are still really interesting and they have enough going for it to really make this an interesting phone this year. The design is better, it's refined, performance is great, and just like any iPhone, the cameras have improved this year when compared to previous generations. Not to mention, I'm really loving the USB-C port on here. I love how you're able to charge another device with your iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max. I just love having the ability now to use all of these different USB-C accessories with your iPhone. And I know it's something that other Android phones have had for a while now, but if you're an iPhone user, you're really gonna appreciate that for this generation. But I'm gonna continue to test out the iPhone 15 Pro Max and much more videos are coming. So if you don't wanna miss any of those videos, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit that notification bell so you're notified as soon as those videos are available. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.